So, what exactly is the new normal going to look like? Especially now that they've got us conditioned to accept and kind of go along with totalitarianism and outright socialism. Got a little different look going on here in my home studio camera view, but we're just kind of changing things up here a little bit, doing a little tweaking. That said, we have been introduced in our vocabulary, American lexicon, if you will, new terms, things like social distancing, and this concept of the, quote, new normal. What is the new normal going to look like? You know, we were told back in the early 1970s when we were opening trade agreements with then China that what was going to happen is that the Chinese people who were oppressed and under a state of totalitarian control, that when they got a taste of economic freedom, it would spurn in them the desire to want total freedom. And not only would they want our goods, our services, and to be able to have trade with us and reap the capitalist benefits of a great economy, but they would desire, they would want, they would demand to have our freedom. And in the end, did they get the last laugh? Because along with everything else we have imported from China, from our medications to $10 DVD players, we're also importing their totalitarian control over the people. I have been saying this. I was the first one to say it. Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh, they are late to this party. I'm glad they're saying what they're saying now, but I was the first one in conservative media to say that these governors are acting like rogue dictators. Who do they think they are? They just absolutely trounce and trample the Constitution at will. And, you know, even as the president and Attorney General Barr say, you can't do that, they're doing it. Who's actually putting a stop to it? The American Civil Liberties Union, which for decades we were told they're simply about civil liberties. There's no real political agenda there. Hogwash. We knew they were left. We knew they were liberal. They have represented every fringe group, extreme nutcase going. But yet, when there are actual civil liberties being destroyed, trampled on, spit on, when the Constitution is being treated like toilet paper, they're nowhere to be found on any of this. And so, as you and I put up with these draconian overreaches, okay, the salon hairstylist has been released out of jail in Texas. Well, duh, what was she doing there to begin with? There was a headline this morning I saw on the Detroit Free Press. A person in the city or in the state of Michigan planted a garden against the governor's directives. Because after all, we can spread coronavirus by gardening now. And they have been ordered to rip up their garden or face a multi-thousand-dollar fine and prison sentence. Are you kidding me? We live in a nation now where we are setting prisoners free so they don't get the flu, the corona flu. And we're going to take law-abiding citizens and now make criminals of them and stick them in jail. Are these like the re-education camps? And even as states take these quote-unquote measured steps, and in some cases extremely measured steps in reopening, there is a psychological brainwashing that has taken place of many in this country who are convinced we are all going to die if we reopen. They are. They're convinced of it. See, technically, my state never said churches can't meet. The governor, who claims to be a believer and a church member, said that if we were going to conduct services at Easter and have people gathering together against his recommendation of just 10 people, pastors, you're putting your congregations in jeopardy and you're not Christian. You little four-eyed dweeb. Yes, I'm talking about Mike DeWiner. Nobody even knew his name, including most of the people in this state, until he became famous and a rock star by the media for being the first governor not only put his state in lockdown, but to be a Republican and at odds with the Trump narrative. Shazam, Batman made him an instantaneous star. And since then, this little nerd who ran the movie projector in school, you know, in the science class, Michael, will you please go down to the AV room and get the projector? Okay. That was Mike DeWine. Now all of a sudden, he's important. People know his name. The Sunday shows are interested in what he has to say. Nobody even knew this guy was alive in February. In fact, most Ohioans didn't even know the name of their own governor. He got in there because he had an R next to his name on the ballot, and people just assumed, hey, Trump got the Ohio economy rocking and rolling. This guy will just carry on the Trump doctrine. Wrong on that count. So, we have so now embraced totalitarianism in this country that any little measured steps of freedom that we get are a big deal. Do you understand? We're excited that we might actually get to sit inside a McDonald's. This is America. And we're getting excited that maybe we get to sit inside a McDonald's again. Maybe before the summer's over, we might actually get to go to a movie. But then again, Hollywood isn't making any right now, so what's the point? And this is like that bad scene in Animal House, you know, these guys pledging a fraternity and having to be naked and bent over a rail and being smacked with a paddle on their backside. Thank you, sir, may I have another? And this is exactly what the government is doing to us. We are bent over, our rights being stripped away from us, taken away from us, and we're saying, thank you, sir, may I have another? Thank you, sir, may I have another? Thank you, sir, may I have another? The city of Toledo, Ohio, headline in their newspaper, The Blade, no fireworks for the 4th of July in the city of Toledo. So let me get this straight. We're going to celebrate our freedom under house arrest, watching virtual fireworks on the television or online. And we're supposed to be good with this? We're supposed to be going, yay, yay. And see, we have a younger generation that has learned to accept that less is better and it's more. And we should have seen it coming, but Steve Jobs actually set all this in motion with the creation of the MP3 player. Remember the iPod? And boy, you could, in the palm of your hand, have 10,000 songs on this thing the size of a cell phone. This was awesome, because we have done away with those big clunky records and tapes. But the sound quality, the compression that goes into making these audio files in a digital format, we lose the high and low ends of some beautifully orchestrated and at one time well recorded and produced music. But hey, we can carry it with us in the palm of our hand. It doesn't skip. There's no DJs to get in the way. And we can Bluetooth it in our car. But sound quality, it does not compare to a real piece of vinyl record on a really, really great stereo system. So now we have speakers that are the size of Coke cans. And see, and this generation has been so programmed to accept that less is more. that even now that we've had all of our freedom stripped and taken away from us, as we get them back little pieces and a little bit different, wow, isn't this great? They're letting 10 of us at a time into McDonald's. Wow, wow, wow. This is unbelievable. And who is going to hold any of these people actually accountable? We're watching video series that YouTube keeps taking down of one of Dr. Fauci's former assistants and what she's been through to try to bring the truth. And every time her video gets uploaded, it gets pulled. Because it's not a pandemic, it's a plandemic, a planned epidemic done on purpose for control, for self-importance, because some of these people have never been this important in their lives. And now all of a sudden, everybody hangs on their every word. Money. Bill Gates, Fauci, they own patents and distribution rights to vaccines, and on it goes. And we have embraced Chinese totalitarianism. The mayor of the city of Kansas City has now told pastors, all right, you can have services. Well, I'm that big of him. Constitution already told me I could do that. And by the way, even before the Constitution told me I could do that, the Bible told me that. In fact, God declared church essential. We said, all right, you can have 10 people in the building, 50 people outside the building. And then this little caveat. But if they stay more than 10 minutes, we have to have their name, address, and contact information. What? Well, if they get sick, we need to know who else was there, who they could have potentially exposed. You see how we're being conditioned, programmed, and we're just lining up like sheep for all of this? And we already have municipalities canceling their fairs that are going to happen, supposed to have happened in August. Well, we know if we keep the rides sanitary. You go to Walmart, don't you? I know they got the zit-faced kid in the rubber gloves wiping the carts down. How sanitary do you still really think that is? So if it makes you feel better, we can get a bunch of zit-faced kids with rubber gloves on and wipe down rides in between each time people go on them. It'll make the line go a little slower, but we can still have our fares. It's unbelievable. It's unthinkable that this is the, quote, new America. And most of this, even though it may not have initially started out that way, the liberals have seized on this opportunity to hurt Donald Trump, to hurt Trump supporters, to hurt the country. Why? Because they deal in hurt. They are political sadomasochists, like, oh, hurt me, baby, hurt me, recession me, depression me, oh. These are sick, twisted people that call themselves the political left. Sick, twisted people. So what do you think of socialism? Isn't it great to go to the grocery store and get excited because there's one roll of toilet paper on the shelf? Oh my God, things are just getting so much better. There's toilet paper. I saw a great meme today. I think his name is Dr. Evil, the bald bad guy from the Austin Powers series. Is that Dr. Evil? Have I got that right? It was a great meme of him, with that most hideously ugly cat I've ever seen in my life. He's holding his ugly cat and he's on his red phone. All right. People are no longer scared of COVID-19. Release the killer hornets. What can I tell you to do? Keep yourself sane. Keep yourself in the faith. Keep yourself encouraged. Live your life. And let me give this one final warning, because I know some of you are ready for a revolution in the streets. And I hear you. But just remember, the only thing that we've got to protect all of our rights and amendments is the Second Amendment. And some of these governors, don't make any mistake about this. They are daring and pushing and wanting you to do something crazy so that they can, by executive power, say, turn them in. We want them. We want them now. Turn them in. Let's be smart. We have the mayor of Chicago saying that if you even talk on Facebook about getting together, we'll arrest you. Mr. President, Mr. Attorney General, stop saber rattling. Stop saying you might do this, might do that to stop all of this totalitarianism. Just do it. And Mr. President, you, with the stroke of a pen and by your authority, can reopen the government. The question is, how many people will still stay home because they have been psychologically brainwashed into thinking, we can't go anywhere and it's still not safe? But for those of us that are still sane and have functioning faculties, set us free. Hey, that's it for today's rant. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Spread this video, where videos can be spread without quarantine. Smack the bell so that you get notification of my rants when you click the word all. And be a subscriber to the channel. Why not? We're the coolest thing on YouTube.